So the devs have released another Fireside chat just as I'm going to bed. So I'm up out of bed and here we go. We're going to do this recording. I'm going to break down their video, which is around about half an hour long, into like bullet points for you guys. Just look at like the important things, I guess. And we're going to look for like spoilers and what might be coming up in the game and maybe some other things as well, just depending on what they talk about. Now, if I miss anything or get something wrong, both of which I almost definitely will, then let me know down in the comments. But let's jump into sort of the main bits that I can find through this video. Okay, so we've got to try and look at literally everything here, right? And the reason for that is because they're going to put some spoilers that they're going to kind of hide in this video. So a couple of things to talk about here. First of all, in the background there, you got that silver shield with the blue and white. I don't know if that's new or not. From memory, I can't remember if that's new or not. Someone will let me know that in the comments. But more interestingly is, what are they stood on the floor there? This to me looks like it could be a new rug. Now I'm hoping for a better angle of this in a second, but let's keep an eye out for that. Okay, second thing, I might be overthinking this. Just behind the black banner there's an armor stand. Is that a new type of armor or is it like the padded armor? The reason I'm saying this is it's sort of semi-hidden, and I don't know if they're trying to be really clever here and just make it a very little spoiler by it being semi-hidden or not. Again, let me know, guys. Okay, this is really cool. Let me just show you this. This is like how Valheim started. Check these graphics out and check the character out.
P2P networking. With my initial idea was to create a serverless MMO.
Okay, go watch the whole thing if you want to see more of this, but I had to include this clip because it made me laugh and it might make you laugh too. Okay, here we have a better view of the floor. I'm certain this is a new rug or a new flooring, right? It's got to be. I'm sure of it. Maybe it's going to be linked to the cave update because I had a theory about that, which I mentioned in a previous video, but I think I've spotted something, guys. Let me know what you think.
If we look at a lot of the mods people are making, we often see mods that are focused on specific areas of the game because players are very fond of specific areas of the game. You can have a player or a mod developer that's very interested in, for example, inventory management, and they add different ways of expanding your inventory and so on. But for us, that might be a bit too complicated. I mean, we could absolutely do that, but it adds more complexity to the game that might not be necessary.
No, that makes sense. I think
that's an interesting point. Just what they're talking about mods there. I see this a lot in my comments and things like that. People say, well, all these mods have been added to Valheim, so why not just add that to vanilla? But I guess, it is more complex than that for the vanilla game because they have to factor in with all their future plans as well as like the way the game is currently. And I guess if they add in like a mod, it has to work in their vision, I suppose. So just kind of interesting to hear them talking about that. Let's see if they talk about this in any more detail.
that makes sense because it's never been about making the most deep game possible. It shouldn't have like super deep mechanics or deep skill trees or something like that, because that's not what we want.
Yeah.
That's also quite an interesting point. People talk about Minecraft a lot, right, as this amazing survival game, which obviously it was. I think one of the reasons it did so well is it was amazing whilst being simplistic. And I think Valheim is, it's probably going to end up being a bit more complex than Minecraft in some ways, potentially. I mean, we'll see. It's got obviously a long development ahead of it, but it is a very simplistic game. I think it is a game you can jump into and start playing and feel like you're getting a hang of it, especially in the early game around the meadows and stuff like that, very early on. And I actually think that's probably a good thing, because I think it entices more people into the community. I know a lot of people that talk about, they've spent maybe 700 hours in the game and they haven't gone past, say, the swamp yet or the mountains yet. They haven't done plains yet or something like that. And that just shows that you can have a really good time with this game in just the first few biomes. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think the simplicity of the game is like an important factor of its success.
It will definitely be pretty different to previous biomes in the game. We really tried to think about what don't we have in the game, and how can we make MISTLANDS different, because it's probably...
Okay, a very short clip there of the let's say the current development footage for MISTLANDS. One thing that anytime we get these little glimpses, I think looks really interesting is I think the terrain is going to be very different there. It seems to be very up and downy, hilly, mountainy, but not like a mountain. It's like lots of flat plateaus and things like that. So I think the terrain's gonna be very different here. And from what they've just said, they're looking to have this, it's gonna be very different to what we expect and very different to anything that's in the game right now. So I think we're all excited for MISTLANDS. Obviously, we're all keeping our fingers crossed it's as soon as possible, but we know how these guys work, right? They get it right before they release it, and that's not a bad thing.
Our last chance in the game to actually add a biome that's very strange and different, because the other biomes are probably, for the experienced players, you know what the other two biomes are, and you can probably...
They're pretty straightforward.
Yeah, they're pretty...
Okay, that's a kind of interesting point there. He said about how he's seen it as like his last chance to add a bit of a mysterious biome into the game because we know what the other biomes are and such, right? And that makes me think, like, because they could surely in the future, if they wanted to, do a map overhaul and either make the map much bigger. So with the extra circumference of the circle, you could have new biomes in there, or you could have some sort of special portal that takes you to a new realm, right? And that realm could be a new biome, and you could have all different types of portals that do that. Or you could start changing the world in terms of like the shape of it, or, you know, basically, look, there's a load of different ways you could go with this. So I don't know. I'm hoping they're at least thinking of this, because I think a new biome is so exciting, right? When a new biome comes, it means so much. It's like potential for a new boss, new mobs, new resources, new build materials, a new place you can live, a new place to explore, and all the rest of it. So I'm like, let's just hang on there, right? Let's never say never on this. Maybe we can have some new biomes in the future too. What do you guys think about that though? Like, any map changes? Do you think Valheim has to stay fundamental to the map that it currently has? Or could they make some changes like I've suggested? Love to know what you guys think. Now, I got to pause on how beautiful is that? You see what I mean about this terrain, this janky terrain and stuff? It's just going to be like nothing we've seen. I'm so excited to actually explore this as soon as it's out. It's going to be epic. And I don't know. I get like goosebumps seeing this. What about you guys? How cool does this look? Hey,
That's about it. So we've been having quite fun trying to figure out what's the thing about MISTLANDS, and I think players will become surprised. And I'm pretty happy with the things we figured out so far, and it will be something pretty crazy.
any guesses on the surprises, guys? The only thing I've got my fingers crossed for is it's not spiders. Anything else I'm really happy with. Just please not spiders. But take a guess in comments, guys. Let's see if anyone gets this stuff right.
Bye-bye, audience.
Bye.
All right, they said it, guys. Bye audience, that is it. Obviously this is a heavily edited down version. They spoke a lot about the history, and I don't know how much interest there is on my particular channel for like that sort of stuff. Plus it's there, you can go watch that video if you want. So I want to just cover like the newer stuff and MISTLANDS, things like that. So yeah, that's it. I like to get to the point in these videos. I've done that. Unfortunately, guys, no dad jokes in this video because I really want to get to bed. I'm going to quickly edit this and get it uploaded, and then I'm going away for a long weekend. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Happy Valheiming.